Hey everybody, how are you today? It's Darla with Stampin' with Chaos, and it is time for Technique Tuesday. I love Technique Tuesday because usually it means that I've learned something new and I get to share it with you guys. I was on the internet the other day looking for cards, and I came across this lady, I believe she's from Australia, and she did the black magic technique, and I was enthralled with it. I loved it. I've watched it and watched it and watched it. And of course, you know, she used things I didn't have, so I had to jump right on and get them so that I could share it with you. And that's the one thing about Technique Tuesday that I like, is if I'm showing you, that means I've just learned it too. So that's kind of awesome. Today we're going to be using some new stuff that I haven't used before. Our Stampin' white pigment ink, which you would think it's just a stamp pad, but when you purchase this, it's just an ink pad with nothing on it. Absolutely nothing. You open it up and it's just plain. I was sitting there stamping and stamping and nothing was getting on it. Then it kind of dawned on me, I thought I saw a bottle of ink with it. So I pulled up YouTube, and sure enough, I'm always the one that follows directions afterwards. You have to ink it. So if you happen to buy our white pigment ink stamp pad, it comes completely plain. And when you want to use it for the first time, you need to ink it. You take the lid off, squeeze it, and put a bunch on there. They said you could use the bone folder. I actually used a craft stick, popsicle stick, and I just spread it out like you were frosting a cake. And then you put more on it, and then you frost the cake. Get a really good thick layer on there, and it's sticky. It's definitely different from our other pads. So you will notice the difference in the texture. The other thing I purchased, I had to get watercolor pencils, because you can't watercolor unless you have pencils, right? So I had to get some watercolor pencils, and they came in two different kinds. I got the, this one's just called the assortment number 2, which are some purples and blues and really pretty colors. And then this one is called just the watercolor pencils with those colors. So I got that. And then I had to get the water painters, and this is just it just holds water. So I'm still kind of confused about it. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's got like a wispy brush on it. I couldn't figure out how to fill it with water. How do you get water in here? And so, thank goodness for YouTube. I wish they would have had YouTube back when I was in school. I'd be one smart cookie by now. But anyways, you put water in a cup or in a bowl or whatever, and you squeeze it, and when you let go, it sucks the water up. So there's a little bit in there. There's not a whole lot in there, but it's enough to get the tip damp, which is what you need. And the other thing is, you needed a stamp that had a little bit of dimension to it. So I had purchased this Quiet Meadow stamp, which I absolutely love it. I love this one. I love the poppies. I think these are poppies. I'm not good with my flowers. Isn't that pretty though? But you want something that's got some dimension to it so that you can mix in the different colors. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I'm only going to do one flower. I practiced a couple times. I'm still not super duper good at it. So be patient. Okay, so we are going to flip you down so that you can see. The one thing about the pigment ink that you need to know, once you're done using it, you need to clean your stamps. You don't want to, it's not that it's going to ruin them, but you don't want it to stain it or to get it all nasty. So I definitely would clean it really good once you're done stamping on it. And we're just going to stamp a couple flowers. I'm just actually going to stamp one just to show you how to do it. And then I'm going to try to figure out a card that I can show maybe on the live. Tomorrow is Wednesday. On Wednesday. And maybe we can do a card with it. So same thing like we always do. Get it down there. And like I said, it's sticky. You can feel it when you go to put your stamp on it. You want to get a good coat on it. And we're just going to, we'll stamp it a couple times. We'll stamp it there. Isn't that pretty? I just absolutely love it just with the white on there without anything else. I'm like, oh, this would be a pretty card. Okay. So we're just going to get two good stamps on there. One thing that they told me that the lady used was a chalk marker, And she said instead of using the chalk marker, a white gel pen would work. I tried the white gel pen earlier and I didn't like it. So I'm thinking I either need a new gel pen or I need to come up with something else. So we might have to skip that part tonight. I can try it, but it just didn't look as crisp as hers did. Like I said, make sure you clean this off really good. I use the Equate flushable wipes just because I like them for this. They work really good and I can buy them in a 5-pack and they're cheaper than buying the baby wipes sometimes. And then I also have from Stampin' Up, and I really do like this. This is called the Stampin' Scrub, and I believe they still have it. I've had this forever. One of them was you used to push a sprayer. This one you pushed the water on it and sprayed it, and this one you left dry. But what I do is I just, because I'm out of the sprayer, I don't even know where the spray bottle is. I just wipe off the stamp real good, get it damp, and then I go to the dry side. And it gets in between your little cracks. This is really, if you're a stamper, you really need this. It works really well. Okay, so once you got your stamp all clean, you can just set it aside and let it dry off. Now what we are going to do is we're going to color. I haven't colored this much in I don't know how long. And I'm not very good at it. So I decided to go with our Daffodil Delight yellow pencil. Well, one thing you need to do is make sure your ink is dry, because if it's not dry, it will smear. So you can use and I don't have mine plugged in. We'll just let it dry. You can use your heat gun and dry it faster. You can let it sit overnight depending on how much of a hurry you're in. Or you can just sit here and talk and blow on it a little bit, because it might smear it. I think we're okay. Okay, we'll try this one down here. We'll see. Let's see how this goes. So then you're just going to take your pencil and you're going to color. Oh no, you're going to take the white. Let's start all over. We're going to take the white and we're going to outline, and we're going to kind of color in these areas where the white lines are. So that's what you're going to do, is you're just going to outline, and you want it a good color on it. I might have, since I've used it a couple times, needed to sharpen it a little bit, but we'll go ahead and mess with it. Just give it some good color. We're kind of shading is what we're doing. The lady that I watched do this, she did a phenomenal job. She obviously got A's in kindergarten, because it was beautiful. Mine, I was okay with, but like I said, I've still got a lot to learn. But it's fun. It's kind of fun learning different techniques. See, and you can already see with just the white watercolor pencil, the chalk, or the blending area. You just want to give it a good color, good thick. Because when you start blending, you're going to want to pull that in. And that's all you do. One thing about doing this is you can't be in a hurry. It takes time. It takes time for it to dry. It takes time. It just takes a little bit more time than the other, slapping a card together. So, but it is fun. Okay. Okay, then we're going to use the yellow. Now that we've got the white on, we're going to use the Daffodil Delight, and we're just going to, I missed a spot, I think, right there. Put a little bit more in there. And we're just going to go over it. And even just doing this, it gives dimension to it, right? So you can already see that, get out, Bama. My dogs are driving me nuts. Paul's not feeling good, and Bama thinks she needs to be in there. And so she's going to come in here, and she's probably going to talk to me and tell me that I need to go let her in with her dad. and I'm not going to, and you will probably hear her argue. Okay, so you just kind of keep coloring in, but notice the dimension just with the yellow, with the shading. Just keep coloring. Okay, isn't that pretty? Okay, now we're going to take the orange and we're going to kind of go where the whites are, and we're going to kind of put in some orange. Get that orange, and then we're going to color in the middle of the flowers so that we can kind of pull from that also. Here she comes. She's going to start arguing. You guys will hear her going, "Arr." Go. Talk about a spoiled dog. Okay, you just kind of keep going and coloring. Just kind of shading it in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the water painter, I'm not even sure what it's called, and we're going to kind of go from there. I don't know if I like that spot right there. You want to get these pretty dark. Okay. And you can kind of see the shades, right? Now we're going to take the water painter and we're going to pull it in. And you're just going to take it and just wisp it. And you'll start to see the colors changing. You see that? It's good to have I had a piece of paper next to me the last time, so that if you get too much of the orange on your brush or your yellow, you can flip it off. You just kind of wisp it. There we go. And then you're gonna let it dry. All you're doing is just kind of blend in, and it looks kind of funky. That one's not gonna look very good, probably. It looks kind of funky until it dries, and then that spot's not gonna look very good. I got it too wet. Anyways, you get the gist of it. Isn't that cool? And then you can go back around it once it's dried. So then what they had us do is, can you see that? Isn't that cool, you guys? They had us go around the edges with the gel pen, and I did not like that. I actually ended up going around with my pencil and kind of crisped it up a little bit. I will have to... I'll go find a white pen that works a little bit better. I don't know if mine's old but it just... Do you guys have a favorite white crafting pen? I have yet to find one that I really, really like. Yeah, it's still a little damp, so you gotta be careful. And then if it was dry, if you wanted to, you could go back in with the yellow or with the orange and just kind of go over the top of it again. It's still a little wet. Yeah, it's too wet. Anyways, that's the gist of it. Isn't that cool? And like I said, I will try to find the white pen so that we can actually finish the card and kind of spruce it up a little bit. I really like this, though. This would be really cool just to do it as plain also. So anyways, I just wanted to share the watercolor technique with you. This is called the Black Magic technique. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. And I will be going live on Wednesday with some kind of a project. Not sure what I'm going to do yet. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you a little bit later. Bye.